guys, today I'm doing a review of Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. This came out in the 1960s. It's a horror novel. This, by the way, is going to be a spoiler-free review because even though this is a movie that was quite famous as well and it's a very famous book, I didn't know anything about it before I started reading it. I went into it knowing nothing, and that was definitely a good way to do it. So I'm going to keep this review spoiler-free in case you haven't watched the movie or read it either and you'd like to. So basically it's about a young couple who move into an apartment in New York City, and the guy is an actor who's like trying to get his start, and the lady gets pregnant, and their neighbours are just a bit creepy and start to take like a special interest in the couple. That's pretty much the gist of what happens in this book. This book is very well written. The writer's style has a really nice flow to it, so that even though it's spanning well over 9 months worth of time, you feel like it's not that long and it's not boring. You don't feel like you're missing out on anything, so it's like it covers the story really well. As a horror novel, it's brilliantly done. The creepy elements are just like slipped in and intertwined with normal everyday things, which is quite scary. In some ways it was quite easy to predict what was going to happen. I was still surprised and there were still twists, but I would often realize things before Rosemary realized them, and I think that was the intention. I think she's supposed to come across as like quite naive and stuff, so if you work out things before she does, then that's probably the point. The dreams in particular are written really well. It really reflects how a dream feels. So you know, dreams are always foggy and you don't quite know when you start dreaming and when you end dreaming, or if it's real or if it's not real, and they're very confusing and things like morph and change into other things. He writes a couple of Rosemary's dreams so well. If a dream was written down on paper, that's exactly how it would look. It was really clever. Given that the book was written in the 1960s, there were some unsavory elements of like casual racism and a lot of sexism, but that's just the era in which it was written. In terms of characters, at the beginning of this novel, I thought that Guy and Rosemary had a really adorable relationship. I thought they were a very cute couple, and I really liked that they had little inside jokes and stuff. It made their relationship feel really real. It was like them against the world, which I really liked. Rosemary is pretty much your basic 1960s typical housewife. She comes across as a bit dumb, like I said, because you can kind of work out what's happening before she does. Minnie and Roman, their elderly neighbours, were written great as well. They were really interesting characters. They were the epitome of old people. They were lovely and nice and stuff, just a bit too nosy and a bit too overbearing, as you can imagine that elderly neighbours might be. My favourite character was Hutch, who is a friend of Rosemary and Guy's. He was just like the voice of reason throughout the whole thing, so I really liked him. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. Even though she annoyed me, I was really rooting for Rosemary. I really wanted her to be able to have that normal life with like a baby and the husband and all that kind of thing. I was really like feeling for her and really excited for her about that. I was interested enough in the day-to-day events that were going on that it kept me interested in the book, even though the creepiness like really just slowly sneaks up on you, which is scary in itself because it's not all there at once. It's not all laid out on the table. It just builds up and builds up and builds up, which was awesome. Just one thing that I want to say is that this book really needs a trigger warning for rape. Just putting it out there. Anyhow, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, so I recommend you read it. If you have read it, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe just at the top of your comment put spoiler if it includes spoilers, just for the people who haven't read it already or haven't seen the film or anything. And we can discuss in the comments down below your thoughts on this novel. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.